What's going on, everybody? This your man Justin J.Y. Gallery, coming to you once again. Um, Before I start, let me just pardon my speech because I'm not real familiar, or I'm not real. I wouldn't say 100%. I mean, I guess I'm comfortable, but I'm not very good at recording videos and talking to myself right now. But talking to hundreds or thousands of people. Um, but so pretty much bear with me when I stumble over words and things like that, because I'm trying to speak out loud and get used to doing what I'm doing, because I hope that I'll be doing more of this. um I really want to bring a story to you, you guys, and anybody out there that has doubts, or that's been through a lot and sees no way out and things like that. And I just want to share with you a little story of my life. If you go to one of my earlier videos, maybe a year ago, um, it was a video of a poem that I wrote. The poem was written maybe 2 years ago, but I made a video for it a year ago, just in case no one read it. It was originally on my Facebook page. The name of the poem was titled "Imagine," and what "Imagine" was, it was pretty much a poem, or a brief rundown of some of the things that I've encountered throughout my 25 years at the time. I'm 27 right now. Um, and you know, at the end of the poem, I had a little bit of positive light at the end, to show people that it's all about how life is all about how you make it and what you make of it. It doesn't matter really where you're from, at least in America. I can't speak on these other countries, as far as the opportunities that they have. But as far as in America, it pretty much doesn't matter where you were born or what you've been through. If you're healthy, or you have a brain, and you have four arms, four arms. If you have two arms and two legs, you can pretty much find a way to make it somehow in life, right? So let me just in case you haven't read or watched the video of my poem "Imagine," let me just tell you a few things about myself, right? Um, I'm one of two children. I have an older sister. I'm not going to really talk about my sister like that, in this video, because that's she has her life story. I have my life story. So, but I will say that I'm one of two. Um, I was born, September 2nd, 1983, um, by my mother. Wow. September 2nd, 1983. Uh, my father, um, my father. Uh, Now this is some personal shit, right? But I'm almost an open book. I'm not really an open book. I mean, you may think you know me, but you know the saying, you think you know me, but you have no idea, right? So you might know a little bit about me through this. Um, but my father, he was a soldier in the army, the military, and I don't know what kind of life experiences or tragedies that he experienced throughout his life. God only knows, but he ended up taking his life when he was 30, and I was 2 years old. My mother had schizophrenia. That's a mental illness. Um, so I was never raised by my mother. My grandmother, who a single grandmother at that, because her husband had passed, before I was born. Single mother of six children had offered to take me and my sister in, right? And my grandma was like 65 or something at the time, or maybe older than that. So that was a very big burden on my grandmother's shoulders to take two little kids in, right? But she didn't want to see us in foster care, things like that. So, fast forward a little bit. Now I'm 5 years old, playing around with some friends. You know how little kids get. They, extra hype, shit like that. And piece of metal, shit, don't know where the motherfucker came from. Pardon my French, but it poked me in the eye at 5 years old, and messed up my like the lens in your eye and made everything blurry, things like that. Had to get surgery. Imagine going to the hospital getting surgeries, needles in your arm and shit like that. I was a youngster going through a lot of pain at that time. You gotta wear a patch and shit like that, and worrying about people talking about you and things like that growing up. So went through that. Fast forward a little bit more as I got older. Me and my sister kind of out of control, whatever like that, and my grandma ended up getting sick. Had surgery, like triple bypass heart surgery, and she couldn't handle us after a while. We had to go up into protective services or group home. Now I'm summarizing. I'm not going through the everything. I had aunts and uncles like helping throughout that time too, but they were young at the time, so they're not going to take us in. So I remember my uncle promising me though. I went to the group home, 24-hour shelters and things like that. He promised me that when I got old enough, he would take me in. So fast forward a little bit more, went through the group home, and met all kinds of people. Try to stay a pretty good guy. Youngsters, we pretty bad sometimes, man. Not bad, but we gotta find our way. So, but I had a lot of people around me that impacted my life, and so fast forward again, a little bit more. 16 years old, move with my uncle. Go to new high school, meet new people, things like that. I believe right before I went to that summer, me and my best friend Lamar, we playing around and something happened and my eye got messed up again or something like that. Like my retina got detached and something like that. Had to go get surgery again on that joint. 15 or 16. So got to deal with that, going into a new high school, all of that, dealing with all of that good stuff. But my later years in high school were good. Jumped the track team, all Catholic, couple times. But meanwhile, with my uncle, things actually weren't what I expected with him, and I don't really want to talk too much about that person, but just say it wasn't all I thought it was going to be, and my older years became very stressful, and it was like almost like my getaway was school, as far as just chilling out there or after school, on the track team, drawing. That was a big thing I left out. Drawing, being an artist was like something that I was born with. I was drawing pictures of like one, painting Picassos and shit like that at 1 year old. Nah, but seriously, I was a big fan of Ninja Turtles and X-Men and all of that, and I drew and drew and drew. So those were like outlets of mine when I got older. I went home at my uncle's house and never wanted to do homework, anything like that. But I was a real smart guy because almost every test I ever had in any subject was either like an A or a B, and maybe a couple C's. But that's actually what got me through high school were my tests and like the final exams and all that. But fast forward a little bit more, graduated. I don't have enough time on here to give you like the rundown of everything, but graduated from high school. Wanted to go to Temple University, but due to my never doing homework and things like that, I couldn't go in there because I had like a C average or something like that, and they wanted more. So they wanted me to go to community college. Went for a couple semesters, took drawing class. I got A's in all my drawing classes. Was offered to go into like advanced placement English but I turned that down because I just wanted the easiest way to get my degree. So I just took English 101 or whatever. Made it through that. Um, when I was a little kid, I was expecting a little money. Not going to get into that too much, but certain family members stole the money from me. Like Macaulay, on some Macaulay Culkin shit. You know what I mean? Found out about it. Fucked my whole life up and shit. It didn't fuck my life up, but it messed me up to know like that. People close to you could do something like that to you, and try to hide it. But after high school, I always worked. I always had a job. My grandma, when I was young, she would say, she never smoked before because, I asked her, I was like, Grandma, how do you stay so young looking? And she was like, I never smoked and things like that. So, I always took that into consideration. And until this day, I never smoked a cigarette, smoked weed, even though I hung around with people that did all that stuff. I done been around a whole lot of shit, man, in my life. And I always thought to myself, like, I'm an individual, and I can't let the things that others do impact how I'm going to, live my life for the, other things people do in a negative way. And fast forward a little bit more, my mother ended up getting killed, strangled by some guy in a park and all of that. And that was another blow to my, everything. So it was just like a whole lot of stuff in my life, man. I done, been through hell, man. I done dealt with people like whispering under their breath and talking trash and fights when I was little and all that. Man, I've been through it all, man. I lived in the hood. I live in the hood now still. Hopefully I get out one day. But through all of this, as I got older and I started observing more, I started reading more, I started taking every opinion into account, everybody's life story. Like I look at my life story, and then I talk to a couple guys at work, like understand their life stories now, and it's like, everybody has a life story. You're not the only one. I'm not the only one that has a life story out here, and if everybody would just look and think of why somebody might be angry, or why somebody might be upset about something, or why is this person hating on you and all that, they might have been hating on all their life, and they feel good about hating on somebody else now. You know what I mean? So it's not really good for you to talk about that person in a hateful way because they talking about you in a hateful way, because that's just making a never-ending cycle, and nobody's ever gonna get nothing, and people end up dying and getting killed and all that stuff for that. So for any like young person that's listening, I mean, I have a great job right now. It gives me time to pursue like my art career and all of that. I've been all over the country. I stopped drawing for that time after my mom passed for a long time, but I started back up again. And pretty much now I'm on this road to success, man. And success starts in your mind, right? If you believe that you're successful in your mind, if you believe that you're like on another level, you believe that you can get anything you want if you achieve it. If you work for it and you believe in it, then you can achieve it. The hood, man. I'm just like you, right? I got the tattoos, everything. I put on a suit and a tie. You can't see none of that. and for real, clothes don't really even make the man. You don't worry about the. I'm not gonna say I'm not into material things too, but the greatest material thing that anybody in this world has is their mind. And with your mind comes more material things. If you think about material things first and not your mind, then you're going to be losing out on a lot of stuff, right? Because of your priorities. But I just wanted to say that to y'all. I don't want to keep making 20-minute long videos and things like that. Maybe I'll have a part 2 to this video. But just know that, the law of attraction is real, right? And the law of attraction pretty much says that like whatever you think and you all these whatever you think pretty much gets manifested somehow into this universe. Whatever your mind is dwelling on, that's what you're going to get back in life. You know, the golden rule: treat others how you want to be treated. That's another law of attraction. You know, you give, things come back to you one way or another. So, you know, just take those words of advice and encouragement, and I'll come out with more videos and try to, you know, condense it and all of that. For now, I'm rambling and talking, and not really giving the whole story, but hopefully it'll get better with time. So bear with me. All right, this your boy JY Gallery. Peace out.